Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Timber Dune, where we got our aqueduct in. It's not the most pretty, but it does the job, and that's all we could hope for, you know. I believe it's pretty Gucci, you know. It provides water from this side over to this side, which then feeds all of this side for us, which is really nice. And, you know, that's cool and all, but what else are we going to do with it? I feel like there's something more entertaining that we could do with that. Maybe we could expand this a little bit, feed that over here, and put in like a little lake over here, and we could feed some of this water into this area to feed even more of that, so we could have a beautiful and well-irrigated world all over the place. Maybe that's something that we can start working towards, is greening up the entirety of the map. But before we tackle that, there's something that I wanted to tackle, and that's start prepping for the final stages of our playthrough here. And that, of course, requires us moving towards changing out all of the iron teeth positions for some beautiful iron bots. So that means we're going to have to vamp up production to meet that demand. That, of course, means probably expanding some production over in this area, making things a little bit easier, getting some of this expanded out just a tad bit more. So we'll probably come over here, blast a fair portion of this out on this end so that we can have a nice flat workspace. Maybe we'll start building up as well, because, well, it's Timberborn. That's half the fun in this game, is you get to build up and do fantastic things that kind of looks like this, but not as atrocious as this. So that is something that we're going to tackle today, expanding some of our iron bot production lines, and probably some additional industry requirements to meet the demand there. We're going to have a vamp up plank production, gear production, so on and so forth, right, to meet that requirement. And that, of course, probably means tapping into this side over here, getting some more iron or scrap going, because we'll definitely need that in order to meet that entire demand as well for all of our iron bots. So that is on the docket. Also need to do some more beautification efforts, i.e. Change this over to this side, move all of our mangroves onto this end over here, maybe expand that a little bit over a little bit more just to facilitate the rest of all of that. And then put in more of our entertaining things down in here for our beavers so that they can enjoy their pool life. And maybe we'll blast this down another layer or something, or blast this all out and have this all on the same layer as this, so that this can feed into here. Something along those lines. Maybe we'll even go one step further and cut into this and have this high enough that we can actually feed into this while providing enough juice to prevent it from overflowing into the rest of the area. I'm not entirely sure how we want to tackle that. Maybe we'll run the aqueduct all the way over to here as well, just to facilitate the growth, or facilitate our little pool of fun. Or we'll just put all of the entertainment, the water sports up here. You know, that'd be pretty cool. You get to come up here. You know what? I like that idea. Have a little oasis on top of the world. I like that. So I think maybe we'll do that. I kind of like that idea. It sounds pretty neat in my head. Put all the entertainment district stuff up here. They're going to have to travel quite a ways, but without anything else to do in their lives, once we take over the world with all the iron bots, I feel like that'll be more than entertaining for them. So that all being said, let's go ahead and start working on all of this. Now the question is, how do we want to tackle it? And I think the answer is quite simple. Or I'd like to believe it's simple, but it's always not that simple. So let's go ahead and get in here. Let's get up there. Let's see how the distance is to this side. That's awful, so let's not do that. I think we can get rid of this without any issue. We have not had any sick beavers in a minute, so hopefully that we maintain that. Let's go ahead and crawl up here and get that up and running. I don't know why it was giving me yellow as in too far from district to reach. It is not too far from district. Anyway, cool. So that'll get us up there. We'll go ahead and grab our path, run this back into here, and run this all the way over here. And maybe we can find a way to sneak up on top of there as well, just to make things a little bit easier. Flip this around, get that up in there, come in here like this, and then we can cut across like that, and then we can tell them to come up here and rip this all out. Make it all go away. I feel as though that's enough real estate. We can also have them come over here and rip all this out too. There's no need for any of that to exist either. Maybe we'll sneak down in here with another set of stairs on this end, and then we can crawl over here and rip all that out. I'm not entirely sure how we want to go about that, but let's go ahead and get the game running at 3 times speed where it belongs. Watch it chug away. It's not doing too bad on the FPS scale. Still sitting around the 80s, so that's not too bad. It's been a minute since I've actually had the opportunity to settle in and get this game up and running, so I am more than happy to be back in it. So let's let them work on that over there, and we can start working on some of this on this side. So we did want to, I don't know why I ripped all of that out. That was ridiculous and unnecessary, but we can go ahead and put this in right here. Put that in right there, put that right there. We can clear this out. That path is no longer required here. Honestly, I believe we could probably rip all this out. There's no need for any of that to be in there. Go ahead and put in our forester right here and right here. And then we can now come in here, hit this tree button right there, grab the mangroves on this side, and start filling this entire pond up with all of our mangroves. Now that's, in the grand scheme of things, not the greatest amount, but it will be a nice chunk and a good starting point, so I will not complain about that in the least. So that'll go in there. Our 2 beavers will start cranking away at planting all that stuff. Maybe we'll swap one of them out. Oops, that's not the button I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit bot button, please, and a thank you. Let's go ahead and replace that with bots there. Maybe we'll throw in another... I think we can unpause you. We're doing fine on power now. There's no need for that to be a concern anymore. Going to grab this, reconnect all that, reach this all the way back to here so they can touch all of those things for us. And that will be glorious. How are we doing on explosives? That is the real question for the day, and we are doing just fine, but we, of course, want to be a little less... running about the cabin. Go ahead and throw this in here, give them an explosive, tell them to obtain, hit that prioritize so that our haulers come over here and bring those in as soon as possible, and that would be glorious and amazing. And I think what we could do is just grab this and rip this across like so. So we just go ahead and rip this all out. And another thing, another small project that I kind of wanted to tackle was kind of, what are the words that I'm trying to think of? Oh, hide all of our power lines. That is a small project that I'd like to tackle at some point, is to get in here and hide all of this, because it's kind of obnoxious, unnecessarily painful to look at, you know, those things. And maybe we could actually come over here and start cleaning up some of this additional stuff too, you know, this isn't necessary. So our power is kind of running through there, and that's kind of needed. So this is all connected on this side. This is all connected up, right? You have to connect this to there. Did I not connect all that? Apparently not. So let's go ahead and click that button. Let's rip this down and toss that in right there, right there. I don't know if we'll be able to reach all of that. I think the answer is probably not, which means that we've got to find a way to rectify that issue, which means crawling up there, putting this in right here. Do I even have access over to here? I do not, which means I have broken access points somewhere along the lines, which is probably right here. What is this? Why have I never seen the gate before? Interesting. Interesting. Flip you there, that goes there, that gets in there, that goes there to there, then that gets all connected. Now they can crawl up there and place that in for us. Maybe we'll just go ahead and rip that out and throw one of these in right here. We have a bad tide approaching, which is bad, which we don't want to see, but it's okay. We'll put this in. Okay, maybe not put that in. We'll put this in right here, and we'll put this in right here, and then throw this in right there, so they can crawl up there and do all of those gigs for us. And we can toss that in right there. Then we can rip this pathway out right here. I still have yet to connect this one piece right there. It's been free spinning for a hot minute and doing nothing for us. Maybe we move everything over. I've talked about that in the past, coming over and moving everything over by one just to facilitate this one. Now, you guys would do the things in the most ridiculous fashion imaginable. Can you all leave, please, so you don't get stuck again? Please and thank you. Okay. They're still going to get stuck again, but, you know, it's fine. It's not much power, but it is still one more piece. So, yeah, sure, why not? We should still have access up there, right? No, maybe. Probably not. I probably just ruined that whole plan right there, but it's okay. It's okay. I could have sworn I had a way up there, but it's all right. Actually, let's get that ripped out. Go away, go away. I want you to come out and over, and then I want you to... Gonna have to disconnect you, put that in, get rid of that. I can't because the path is in the way. Gonna rip all this out. There was no need to do that, so let's just go ahead and rip that out there too. We're just making all of the wrong decisions right now. You know, it's great. That's what we're here for. We love to watch me do ridiculous and unnecessary things. That's half the fun, don't you know? All right, so that was large power wheel. Eating this to this side. I think that's on the appropriate height that is, and that means that we can now start eating this into position where it belongs now, just like this. There we go. We fit one more in there so we can get another 200 units of power or something. About 300 units of power. That's perfectly acceptable. Right? Right. Put that in there. We can grab this path, get there, connect that to there. That gets us access to all of those. Still too far from district somehow. Well, they have to build that so that they can actually get across. And then once that's built, then they can gain access to all of those things. Please let me touch it. And there it is. Beautiful. There's another 200 units power. Great. Brilliant. How is this coming along? They are almost done. I just need to give them even more access to all of those. Dynamite right there, which they should have access to now. They'll get over there and clean a fair portion of that up for us relatively quickly, and that'll be glorious. And I am here for it. All right. So they're going to throw all of that in for us. This is almost complete here soonish. Got a few more bots running about the cabin doing cabin things, which is beautiful, and you love to see it. And we're not going to hit this button, hit the U button right here, because that'd be terrible. Okay, we're not going to do that right at this moment. We're going to give it a few ticks. Wait for that last bot to make like a tree. And now we're going to hit this button, and get this all out of there, cleaned up a little bit. And it'll be beautiful and lovely, and I somehow missed 2. How did I miss 2? It's all good. I don't know why that got placed right there, but that's okay. Probably need to go out a little bit more, and now we can come in here, rip this out. Nope, 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 no. Well, this brings us back to, I want to kind of drop all this too. Do we clean all of this up? I feel like that's the answer to the daily double here. Clean all of this up. We probably should have blasted all of this down, honestly. There's no need for this to be intermittently placed like this. But alas, I did the dumb thing, as I usually do. Okay, how do we clean a fair portion of this up? Technically, I only need this to be connected at one point. There's no need for it to be all connected like this right here. This can... Yeah, game. This can be the single point that runs forward to feed the rest of that power system, which is acceptable and only thing that we would need to do to accommodate the things that we want to do. I still want to come over here and blast the rest of this down. It just looks so ridiculous to me. Okay. All right. We blasted that out. We blasted this out. Now we can get access to all of this. And I also would love to grab one of these two-way stations. I could have sworn I put in a two-way station up in this area, and the answer is probably no. Hello, Gladys. Our bad tide's about to kick off, which is not cool, bro, but it's all right. We will survive. We do have more power, so we could actually copy one of these and flip this around and give them a little bit more access to that wind tunnel. We could grab one of these and eat this around and do the same thing on that end, and then come over here and then blast a little bit more of this out, and then that can go out to like there, and then we can put in another, let's call it a couple tunnels in here. Why not? Just so we can have access to all that. That'll be beautiful. And everything that we hoped for, and then some, maybe. I did see probably one of the coolest things on the old X the other day, and I kind of want to do something along those lines as well. So that means a little something like that, and a little something like this. Then we toss in a little something like this, a little decoration action right here. There's our bad tide. It is officially kicked off. And then, did I want to do that one? I don't know if I wanted to do that one. And 2x3. I want to do that there. 1, 2. Do that there, and then 2x2. Like that. Yeah, yeah. And then they did something else pretty neat. I can't quite exactly recall what it was, but you know what? Braziers are cool. Highlighting all of the cool things that we have going on over here. We rip this out. Now I realized that I needed to go one further, so that can go in right there, and everybody should be clear of this. Lay boom. Get that out of the way, and we grab that. We rip this around like such as, and eat this in here. Eat this around to that side. Do a little something like that. Grab this pathway. Pull this in all the way to there. Pull this all the way back to there. Everybody's entertained and more happy about all of their life choices. Realize that I've made a mistake. And that means that we get to put in a 1x5 here, I guess. Sure. Why not? Grab this. Put that in right there. Oh, I completely foobarred this whole shtick here. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. Give me that. We want to put that there, and then give us some more decorations here. Give me... Let's go with a beaver statue right here. Do one right here. Beaver bust, because why not? We'll do... does the bell actually? Bell does provide an aesthetic bonus, so we can do a bell here and a bell here. And then a clock to let them know, hey, you guys probably shouldn't be chilling this long. Okay, there's no need for you all to be sitting on your bums for 4,000 years unnecessarily, okay, guys? Truly, get up and do something productive with your lives, all right? Put all that in. That'll look beautiful. Don't know if they'll... No, they should be able to reach that from the other side. Yeah, they're good. That's good. All right, more decorations. Do we put a shrubbery up top? No, that's ridiculous. We're not going to do something that ridiculous. No, who would do something so weird? Me. I'm ridiculous. But hey, I like it. And that's all that matters. All right, cool. That's all going in. That'll be beautiful. That'll be fantastic. That'll be amazing. And it's a little bit of an entertainment district while we prep for our next phase of insanity, which means ripping all of this out, probably. I kind of want to drop all this by a good foot or two. I think two might be the answer there, and we'll run power up into one of these guys. I think we'll be okay ripping all of this out for now. We're doing fine on extract, question mark? Mr. Extract button, yeah, 3.7k explosives we're doing fine on. Yeah, those are maxed out. Science we're okay on for a little bit, so I think we can safely rip portion of this out. Now the problem is this is where all the power is coming into, so that's not exactly what we want. So we should probably run the power down first before we start thinking about that. Now the question is, did I do something crazy? Down in this area, and I do not believe I have, so that can go back up to the top. I do want to check on this, however. So I did the whole memory set reset thing. Set to A, set to B there, and I don't know if it's working or not. It hasn't flooded anything in a minute, so that's cool. This, I realized that this had prevented it from actually reaching down as far as it needed to, which is that's a planning failure on my behalf, so that should actually keep up with the demand now. Okay, so let's focus. Focus. That means hitting that button, this button, and connecting that up to there. And now... And I don't know if we can do this or not, but we will see. So let's try it. I feel like we should be able to do these. Probably not these back here. And it does appear as though we can, so that's good. Cool, that's all going boom. Let's bring this down the next layer, which is that layer, and we grab this and pull this across. Make sure it's staying as ones the entire way. We don't need twos in here. There's no twos allowed, okay? We grab that and we go probably to there or something. I don't know. Grab this, go there. And that'll look great. And then that's too deep. And then we can cover this back up with dirt again when we're done with it. And it'll be glorious. We could even preemptively prepare this for our drop down potentially. Not really. We're going to have to cut this line for a second. Let's pull that down. Can you guys put this in? Thank you. All right. So that pulls that in. Let's rip this out. Give me this button so we're fast on it. Actually, let's just do the smart things here. We don't need that log. That can go away. We don't need those planks. That can go away. And we can just reconnect this up real fast like. Give that a max priority so they don't forget to do that. Did they get all of this connected? I believe they did. This is all done too. Nice. Nice. Beautiful. And then we still need to connect this all up as well. I think we can actually pull this over one or two. Do we want to pull that over one or two? Be in an awkward position. No, we wanted to put another water wheel right here. Okay, I want this to now be gone. We can unpause it real quick. Let them get back to work. We can now come over here, connect this into there, put this in right here, put that right there, put that right there. Call that beautiful. And they still haven't finished putting this in yet. Please. Hello? Guys? Everything's without power right now. I need y'all to hurry up. Before all of the bots run out of juice and I have issues that I don't want to have to contend with. 100 buildings lack power right now. That's a lot of buildings without power right now. Okay, are we connected yet? No. How about now? There we go. Now we're all connected. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, and that's going in. That is what we want to see. And then we can grab that somehow. No, that's connected. I need to connect this over here. That's right, that's right, that's right. Let's see. How do we want to connect you? Like this? Yes, I think that's the simplest way. Connect there, and then connect there. There we go. Now we get the one random water wheel by itself, all connected for free. All right, how is this coming along down here? Let's heat this down. That is in. They weren't able to touch this because they cannot reach it. Which is not what we want to see, but we want to grab that, pull that all the way across to there, pull this back up and ask why they can't access that. The answer is because of the daily double that is this wonderful charging station, which is now out of the way. Now that comes over, and then that goes there, and then this goes there. Not there. This goes... Come on. There, and then we grab you, put you there. Pull this all the way across, and then they should have access to everything yet again. So many choices. So many choices. Okay, so that is all going in right now, and I think if we ran this power line all the way over to here or into this line, should be fine, honestly. So let's see about tackling that in some way, form, or fashion. Means probably crawling up here, getting that, feeding you up here like this, and that gives us access to all of... Give me path? Path, please? Why no path? Why no path? Want a path? Okay. I could have sworn I could path on top of one of those. Interesting quandary. You grab that, you go in there, that gets fixed there. Then I grab you, pull you all the way this way, and then you all the way that way. Honestly, it probably wasn't necessary to put that too deep. I kind of, yeah, it's not necessary, but I want to because it just looks nicer, you know? It just looks a little nicer. Then we can start cleaning up a lot of this mess, which would look really good. Also, I need to give them access to this up here so they can come up here and clean all this mess up that I asked them to do an hour ago. But alas, they have not been able to accomplish said things because I've been giving them too many other things to accomplish and not providing them the capacity to do so. Was it because I wasn't on the top height? It was because I wasn't on the top height. There we go. Now they can plant all of that. That's kind of what we wanted to see. There we go. Now they can do all of those things. Now we can pull this back down to the height that we want to be at, which is here. I don't know why they haven't touched that one yet. There it goes. Beautiful. And then we go down one further, unnecessarily so, just to come back up by one. Beautiful. Okay, and then we pull this down. Grab power line, grab you, pull you to there. I think that's where we're going to go up. Maybe we'll go up over here. No. I know not. Or we might go up over here. No, I think that's probably blocked by that. Yeah, that's blocked by that, so we can't really do that. We have access to that point right there? Probably. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, that should have all gone in though. All those power lines. Nope. Didn't put all of the power lines in. Now they are going in, and you come up by one. I can't delete you because you're sitting on top of something, which is preventing us from doing the things that we want to do. Okay, you get yeeted out of existence. Go away. I know. You get to go in there. You get to go in there. You get to come up to the top. And maybe I pull this up by one more so that that can stay connected or something. That goes in right there. Yeah. Nope, that's not exactly what we wanted to see happen, but it's okay. It's all good. That should reconnect everything back into there, though. So the moment that they get that plugged in, we can rip all this out without it being an issue for the power lines, which is kind of the point, kind of what we were after there in the first place. Oh my goodness. What happened here? What happened here? Oh my goodness. You, sir, are fired. You weren't automated. Neither were you. Well, it's a good thing this isn't feeding anything else worth anything. We're going to have to dump all of this, which is awful. Oh my goodness. That's what I get for not paying attention to anything. Oh, no. Boo on me for being lay dumb. Okay, let's go ahead and eat all of that. Eat all of this. And then eat all of this. Oh, the random... Oh. That's what that was. Okay, that's fine. You can go away, you can go away, and you can go away. I think we can get rid of all of this platform. Oh, hey. No. No. Why did I do that? You get reconnected. Come on. Come fix my mess up. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It was an accident. Okay. We'll get it fixed. Okay. Let's clean that up. Everything is now reconnected. Good. I think we can go ahead and yeet all of this out of existence. That's not necessary here. Okay. So that is all more free real estate for us to play with. And that means that we can replace all of those things that we just took out. So go ahead and think about placement here. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That should meet the intent as far as bots are concerned, but we can flip this around and give ourselves a little bit more. This will put us in about the... what would that put us at? 4, so 8 of these, so a lot of bots. a lot of bots. Okay, that goes in. Did I want to pull this over one more? I feel like the answer is probably yes. To facilitate the inputs, right? So each of these input-wise requires copious amounts of material. So if we come into science, we grab the bot factory. We need planks and metal blocks. We need planks and gears. Planks, gears, and metal blocks. So let's go, not that. 1, 2, 3. Then every other one can be... where we put gears, I guess? Yep, that's not going to do it. Okay, we're going to have to... give me a few seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, that's that in for us real quick. Now, that's... bot factory party. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Probably don't need 6 of those. Let's call it 5. Let's go and put in more wood workshops in here. 4 of those should meet the intent there. Maybe a little bit more might be required in the future. Now we grab this industrial lumber mill, flip this around. Put this in, call it right here. Kind of want to give it a little bit more space than that. I kind of want to flip this around. Nope, wrong flip. There we go. Now we grab the industrial lumber mill. Flip that direction. That goes in right there. Pull this down. Can't have too many planks. Definitely can't have too many gears. Probably double up our gear production. Just because we're going to need a metric ton of gears. So we'll call that double that. And that needs to be flipped. Flip that there, flip that. That side's good. Pull this all the way down to there. Then what we want, grab this, grab our path, pull that all the way back to there. Realize that that just looks awful. It's fine. That should line everything up there. Gucci. That doesn't need to be there. Grab this pathway here. We can unpause the game. Probably should have just flipped everything, because now it just looks awful. Yeah, that looks really bad. But it meets the intent, and that's all that really matters. That goes in, that goes there. They're already making their way over. We'll have to run power up and into here. Remove these two because that's how power is going to transfer. Remove this because that's again how power is going to transfer. We're going to transfer power like such as back through here, back through here, back through there. That'll get all that in and dusted there. Okay, that'll all get put in. Those are all going to be unconnected, so they're just going to yell at me for a moment until we get everything in. I want to kind of rip this out right now. Okay, let me rip that out, please. Thank you. Pull this down, pull this up, grab me this button. That goes right there. Let me pull this down, pull that down by one more. I realize that I can't really see where that is. Can you guys like build that for me real quick? That'd be appreciated. Great. Beautiful. That goes there. That goes into there. I can pull this back up. They're still cleaning the rest of this up, which is totally fine and acceptable. And once they get all of that taken care of, we can then reconnect. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. There we go. Want you power-wise, you there, there, not you there, but I want this there, that gone. Grab this power button here and there. Pull this all the way back up to the top. Put this on top of here. Grab you, put you there, and that gets all of that powered up and ready to rock and roll, which is what we want to see. Now, that is that production line taken care of. That takes care of our requirements for all of the other things. Now I need to provide them a means to get up here to build all of those things, as well as a way in which to gain access for future purposes, which means one thing. Let's connect that up real quick. We'll connect this up over here as well so they can get all of that done and working. I need to tell them to not be in there, because there's no reason for them to be in there. I want you to be swapped over to that, and I want you to be copied across the board. I want you to also be bots, and I believe you are already copied all the way over. You could also be bots. We'll copy that all the way across the back. You are bots as well. Bots, please. There we go. Copy this. Can we drag this? No, we cannot drag. Dragging is not an option. All right, cool. That's all in. Now we've got bots rolling into here. That'll help expedite all of the production of all the other goods for us. That gets put into position right there. That gets yeeted into there. That gets yeeted into there. And that does here and here. That's future proofing. You're not anything. You can now be metal blocks. Probably tell them to bring those over, but I did not. And they did not build this stuff up here, so let's tell them to connect that so at least our bots can get to work doing productive things. And then we grab you, and that should be fine, actually. No, that's not going to be fine. That looks not ridiculous. It kind of looks ridiculous, but it's okay. That's half of everything that we do here, so sorry about you. That can go all the way back to there. This can go all the way back to there. Get all that connected for us, and that'll be glorious and amazing. And that's more bot production for us. Basically, Sending our bot capacity to the moon. I have 14 positions going unfilled. It's probably all of these positions in here, which is totally fine, totally acceptable. Now we've got all of this going in, we could probably start tearing a fair portion of this out back here. We may even blast some more of this out, honestly. I kind of want to. So let's go ahead and do the things that I said I was going to do. Get that in there. FPS is dropping something fierce, and I am here for it. Let's go ahead and rip some more of this out, shall we? Pull that in all the way there. Get this demolished, and then we can throw in... Well, can we put this in right here? We can. So we can just cancel that demolition and let them throw that one in, and that'll be okay. That'll meet the intent for all of that. This is all going in. They all lack power. Oh, so many positions going in unfilled right now because of all of the bots trying to fill all of these spots that they can't do right now because somebody hasn't produced enough bots to meet the demand there. Though I probably should unpause you, and you to meet the demands as far as our minimum requirements to get all this up and running. Though I should probably give this a smaller bump just so that we can get all of that going. And probably max out this priority-wise so that we can get that power connected. And then... we toss in one of these bad Johnnies. Right here, right here. We grab one of you, throw in our control tower right there, right there. And that covers all those positions. They can get up and running appropriately. You're not supposed to be one of you guys. You're supposed to be that. Same for you. I don't know why you didn't swap, but it's fine. Couple buildings lack power. Yep, it's you guys. Y'all don't need to be in there right now. I don't know why you're not currently elsewhere. Sweet. And they're coming in. They're filling all those positions for us. They're getting all that taken care of. That is brilliant. That is beautiful. That is what we want to see. Now, I think what we can do is probably tear a portion of this out down here. It is highly unnecessary, and we can also fire you and fire you. We can rip that out and rip that out and rip that out, that out. And let's see here. Go ahead and tear those out for us. Rip all of that out for us here as well. Yeah, we can, no, I didn't need to do that. I don't have a Control Z function. Boo on me. I did the dumb. I did the dumb. I don't need you guys ripped out here yet. Fluid dump, that's what we needed. You go back into there. Thank you. You can go back out. You give me you. Fluid dump back into there. We need to keep this filled. Because I did the goober. Do I still have one of these? I do. Grab that. Throw that in there, there, and there. And that is good. My bad, guys. I thought I could get ahead of that, but I didn't realize, or I completely forgot about the fact that I didn't provide you a method to do the things. Bot is out of power. How is a bot out of power, guys? Let's see here. I also still need a larger storage position for all of these treated planks too. I kind of don't want to continue to expand this higher or grow this higher, but it's becoming quite the tower at this point. So why not? You are going to be treated planks, and you are obtain, yes. And we're going to copy that all across the block there. Grab me you. Grab that, eat that all the way across that side. Grab this side as well and just cover that all in. Try to remember how this is all supposed to go in here. And the answer is, who knows? How was I doing this? Bum, bum. I do not recall how I was doing this. It's all good. We'll figure it out. Maybe. Maybe not. Most likely not. It's all good. Maybe. Nope. Come on. Is that what I want to do right there? Sure. Sure. Give me you. I can go there. Now we've got access to it. Why not? It'll work. Then one of these days we'll connect all this up with a two-way station and then everybody will be a little bit happier. Maybe we could do that right now-ish, actually. Just looks a little something like... where is our two-way station in this shenaniganry? I think it's like right there, honestly. So we could pull this out or pull one of these guys out. Here, let's grab that. Pull this over here. 69%. We can't touch that one. That one's at 8%. That one's acceptable. Sorry, dude. Then we grab this. We grab that. Right here. Eat that out of existence. Then we pull this out. We grab our triple. Put that in right here to there. Grab. Where do we want? We want this path thing here. We want this to be in this area. Right? Yeah? No? Maybe? We're already committed at this point. So that gets put back into there. We're going to have to figure out a way to put that back in. Somehow, some way. It's fine. Give me that, please. Let's get this cleaned up. Get this unmessed up, shall we? We grab our triple again, put that in right there. Sure. That can go away now. Give me you. Oh. Game. That's what we want to do there. I don't know how we're going to get that in. I don't know. Something ridiculous like that. Like this, maybe? And then we can just feed that up the side, kind of like that. And we put this in right here. And we do the same right there. Grab this path and then put that in like that. Then we grab this path and put that in right there. And then this last piece is just going to look a little something like this. And I don't know if I can actually put that on top of there. I cannot. Which is boo. But it will work. Okay. We need to connect all those things up there, and get all that connected back in. And it only looks mildly ridiculous. Which I blame. It's fine. We don't need to blame anybody in particular, okay? Everything's fine. Get that all yeeted in. This explosive job doesn't need to be everybody's #1 priority. Because there's other things that need to be accomplished first here, guys, okay? Also, I need to not be burning through all of my bots by having them filling all these positions right now when I don't really have the capacity to meet that demand. And you guys are all just making bot chassis right now, aren't you? The bot limbs, bot heads. Bot chassis, bot limbs, bot heads. Bot limbs, bot heads, chassis, limbs, and bot heads. There. You guys get to work properly this time? That'd be great. I think we're fine on the chassis here, my guys. We're kind of lacking in the rest of the material required to do our JOBs here, alright? But that's all cleared up. Whoa, that got really loud. Oh! Oh no! Ironbot 584! My guy! Where did you come from? No! Ironbot 584. No! What happened, my guy? What happened here? How did you get got? Ironbot 584, you'll be missed by my friend. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Where did I lose a bunch of bots to? There's builders' huts lost. Still have a bunch of builders' huts, so that's good. Need to provide them the means to get up there. I don't know how much this has actually helped out, if at all. Grading is halted. They just built that, so that's fine. They're ripping that out, which is fine. That is in, so that is fine. That is good, so this is beautiful. Okay. So, production has vastly expanded. We've got a little bit of this whole mess cleaned up, so that is pretty nice. We kind of want to continue expansion. We want to work into producing more foodstuffs, storing even more of the foodstuffs. But the last thing that I wanted to take care of today is getting in a few more of these good things for our beavers to do, which is stuff like more swimming pools, more scratchers, and the tribute of ingenuity, which is the #1 thing that I kind of wanted to tackle as far as the entertainment for our beavers is concerned. So I want to go ahead and find us a beautiful place where this can all settle in. And the question is, how are we going to feed it power? And I do not know the answer to that question, which is really annoying to me. But where there's a will, there is a way. We do have power feeding into this whole system right here. We can run power underneath here into this housing system right here, and we can put our tribute to ingenuity back here, which is kind of what I wanted to do. So let's grab this. Grab there, pull this down by 1. Of course, that didn't work as advertised. I don't. Okay, so let's just grab this here. Let's grab that, pull that in. That's connected there. We run this way. No. Yes, we're going to have to do that. Then we want to run this under... Do we need to run that under there? Yeah, no, yeah. I think we can safely remove that all without it causing any issues for us. We just run this over here, that there. We drop this a layer. And then unpause it real quick. I think they should be able to reach all that. Pull that down an additional layer. We grab this. We grab you. Pull that into there. Pull that all the way across there. That's all going to start filling up and spreading a little bit more of the water, but we have more than enough of that right now. Given I didn't somehow screw this side up, which it doesn't appear as though I have, so that's fantastic. That's what we want to see. Okay, so let's go ahead, pull that back down to the height that we wanted to mess with, and that is by clicking this button. They should be blasting that out now. Pull this back up. Eat that, and I don't think that was what I wanted to destroy right there, but it's okay. I don't know what that was. That goes back in. I think you were that anyway, which is fine. That'll get tossed in. Let me pull this back down, pull that back down, and grab power, grab you, pull that all the way across to there. Ask why they haven't touched that one. The answer is because that one's unnecessary. Okay, pull this out, pull that out, pull this out, run this power-wise up top. Realizing that's in the way, pull you out, you out, you out. You don't need to go that high. And now we can clean a little bit of this up right here. Then put our dirt back on top of there, like such as long as they've actually planted all of those pieces. And it appears as though they have. I probably could have just clicked on this button right here. That one hasn't been fixed, but it's fine. Once that spools up at 3,300, that is perfect and what we want to see. We want them to cover that back up. Please, quickly. We don't need it flooding the whole world. Beautiful. All right. Last thing to get yeeted in here, and that's our tribute to Ingenuity. That's going to burn 12,000 of our science. We should probably put a little... Well, no, it shouldn't flood. It shouldn't flood. That will cover that down. And the last thing that I completely neglected to put in back here was our number cruncher. Let's put our number cruncher back in. Where do we want to put that in, though? That's the question. Where's a good spot for that to hide? Probably over here, honestly. Let's pull this all out. Pull this all out. Science. Number cruncher. Put that in back here. We're going to need a fair amount of these to meet the demand that we have for all of the things. That should meet the intent. Everything should still be connected. They should have access to all of that. Beautiful. Bots are being produced, but slowly. Just a matter of meeting the production demands for all of the things. But we should have enough backlog to meet all of those requirements and all of the other things. And I still need to put in all of that stuff down here to meet all of that requirement. But anyway, go ahead and we'll finish the episode here as we watch the tribute to Ingenuity be brought to fruition. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, wow, I can speak the English language. I would greatly appreciate you in that endeavor. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day wherever you're in the world. Stay nice and safe, nice and thirsty. Keep rocking in the free world, and we'll see you all in the next episode of Timber Dune as we tackle the last few awesome projects we have in store for our Iron Bots. I'm out. See ya.